Hey everyone, members, friends. I want to thank you guys for being with Kama Jiu-Jitsu for all these years. Dave's been running Kama Jiu-Jitsu since 1993 or so under Rickson Gracie Laguna Niguel, and then it became Kama Jiu-Jitsu around 2012. I moved to Texas 2013. We launched Kama Jiu-Jitsu in Dallas-Fort Worth, and now we have Austin that was launched in 2019. So we've got 3 campuses. But just because we're opening campuses doesn't mean that's where we're stopping. Our goal at Kama Jiu-Jitsu is to make sure that Rickson Gracie's Jiu-Jitsu is spread worldwide. Now, how do we do it? It's not an easy task, right? We've got Kama Jiu-Jitsu online in addition to our academies to help get people who are not in the vicinity of a campus to learn at least a curriculum that we have here at Kama Jiu-Jitsu for our members. Now, one of the challenges that we have in running an academy is that really, historically, the best way to learn jiu-jitsu is through one-on-one instruction. When I first started jiu-jitsu in 1989, I trained in Rickson Gracie's garage. Yep, I was one of the Hawaii garage guys. I did a private every Tuesday at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I did classes 3 days a week. Master Dave Kama, my counterpart, he did the same thing, but in the Gracie Torrance Academy. So he started in the garage, Horian Gracie's garage, when it was just Horian and Hoist teaching jiu-jitsu lessons to the students there. And many of you know that if you've watched my video where I interviewed Horian Gracie, he was doing 632 privates per month. So these are 30-minute sessions that were just round the clock every single day, just so he could teach jiu-jitsu. Now, he could have easily created a group class for them, but no, the best way to teach jiu-jitsu is through one-on-one sessions. And that's why I am filming this from my home studio, my private home studio, where here it is, it's just 12 noon, and I've already had 2 sessions today. And I have multiple sessions per week. The problem is I can't teach everybody one-on-one anymore, only because there's just not enough of me to go around. But at the end of the day, our goal has always been to make private sessions available to all of our members. Now, Dave out in California, Professor Fernando also teaches them as well. And I teach them here as well as many of the instructors do as well. The problem is, though, the costs can be prohibitive to do privates. Now, some people can afford it, some people cannot. With me, it was just, I was young, I was in college, I had no family, no kids, and I could spend all my money on jiu-jitsu. And the same thing happened with Dave as well. I remember Dave saying once when he had taken his lesson, he realized this is really what he wants to do as far as his training goes. And he'd ask, they asked him, when can you come next? And he says, when can I come next? And they'd say, okay, well, today's Saturday, so how about you come next Saturday? He goes, okay. He goes, do you have any other days? Well, how many days would you want? How many days can I have, right? Because Dave realized that jiu-jitsu was so powerful, and he wanted to learn it so badly. He was just, in his words, telling me, here, I'm trying to give you all my money, right? Give Horian and Hoist and all that. He's just trying to buy up as many private time slots as he could. Now, once the Gracie Academy opened, Horian mentioned there's just too many students. And that's where the advent of group classes came in. And that's what kind of makes it difficult as well, because if you have a curriculum where you want to progress your students linearly through the curriculum, it's hard to do it in a group class. Now, when I first opened our campus here in Dallas, I might have had in any one class 3 or 4 members. We trained every day. And having that few members, 3, 4, 5, a big class might have been 6 guys. I can cater to every single one of their needs in a semi-private setting, and I can go, okay, David, you need to work on this. Rich, you need to work on that. Ken, you need to work on this. And we could work on that for the entire duration of the class. As a result, students got really good really fast. Fast forward to today where there's only, we might have anywhere from 10 to 20 people in a class, and we have multiple classes a week. We train 7 days a week in our studio, and there's no way that I can possibly be there to teach everybody to the same degree that I taught the original core group of guys. Our instructors, Mikey Nielsen came from that. Ken Da Silva, our Austin representative, came from that. David Lee, one of my Brahmas, came from that. And, as well as a few other people. But, those are the people that are among our best students, but they came through that environment. So my goal has always been to reopen that type of environment to our members. It does a couple of things. Number one is it gets you to the point where you can learn jiu-jitsu in a linear fashion, thereby creating a quicker absorption rate of jiu-jitsu. The second thing it does is it gives you that individual attention that you need to say, okay, for you, you need to make sure that you do this. Okay, yeah, let's work on that for the next 10 minutes. Yes, 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 perfect. You got it, now we can move on. It's a step-by-step type of learning process, which in my opinion works better than any other way to learn jiu-jitsu. In a group class, it could be something you need to work on, or it could be something that you have worked on 1,000 times, but since you're in a group class, you kind of have to go along and just kind of pick it up as time goes on. So by doing the private instruction, by offering it, it enables our members to learn jiu-jitsu in a shorter time frame, in a less intense atmosphere where, instead of having the warm-ups, the light warm-ups, the heavy warm-ups, the positional training, the sparring, all that kind of stuff that takes typically 2 hours, or we also have 1 hour and maybe 90-minute classes where everything gets compressed. We can spend an entire time period on you. So typically the privates I do in my house are an hour long, and oftentimes they might go a little bit over. But for this program that we're starting here, it's called the Premier Program, we're going to be creating 30-minute private sessions like we did back in the old days. Right? And that's how Gracie Jiu-Jitsu has always been taught. We run you through the curriculum in order, so you have your session once a week. Now, we do have a Premier Plus membership where you can have more than one membership, more than one time slot per week, but it's really up to you. But what we'll do is we'll have a 30-minute session for you. You'll then have access to our fundamentals group classes where we continue on this process. It's in a group setting, but you're still going to have your private class where we can work on the stuff that's just for you. The fundamentals class will just get you a little bit extra mat time, in addition to what you're getting in your class. Now, what happens here, right? You learn the entire curriculum. There's not going to be any hard sparring in this because we want to use all of this time to teach you and for you to learn, less than we want you to use this time to fight, right? And some of you don't even want to fight. Some of our members, they're not interested in it. They just want to learn it because they need to know this self-defense, and then they want to go on with their day, and they want to do it in as efficient a situation as possible. 30 minutes in and out, you're out the door, you go on with the rest of your day, versus a 2-hour class that we might have at night. Others just kind of feel uncomfortable training with a group of people. And they may be more, maybe at some point in time, but today and for now, I just want to do this one-on-one with my instructor. That's what the program is designed for. At the end of it, once you go through our curriculum, and this is just kind of part of it, this is just the ground part, but we also have the self-defense part as well. Once you go through all that, you'll earn your blue bar on your white belt. So, I have a red bar right here. A white belt typically has a black bar, and that's your very beginner belt. That's a belt that you buy, right? Every other belt, you earn it. Once you complete the curriculum, and once you know the curriculum, which typically is, we'll go through modules 1 through 6, which is the same as it is, for all our members. Then what'll happen is, once you go through it and you learn it all, and you know it, then you'll get the blue bar. You get a new white belt with a blue bar on it. Now, what do you do at that point? You can continue on and just keep going through the curriculum and learning it, get better and reinforcing it. Or you can say, I learned it, I'm good to go. Thank you very much. We'll see you. And, if you want to come in for a tune-up later on, you're welcome to. Or you can say, I'd like to progress to the adult class now where I can train harder and I can do more of the intensity that typically comes with Kama Jiu-Jitsu. And I'd like to, at some point in time, see if I can put myself in a position to earn my blue belt, right? So with this, we add another option, and it enables us to cater to another group who historically have not really been a candidate for coming to train at Kama Jiu-Jitsu. At the end of the day, we feel everybody needs to learn jiu-jitsu. And I've made it clear, I've mentioned it to everybody, that Kama Jiu-Jitsu is the best thing that any individual can learn to help with their self-defense, to help with their confidence, and to help them in life, because nothing gets your body in better shape than jiu-jitsu. But we've had all these obstacles that have come up where we are just, in our current form, are just really a candidate for a very small slice of the population. But it's usually the most athletic. Typically, men are doing this, when in fact we need to have a lot more women learning this, because women are more often victims than men, often children, teenagers, and all that. So the best way that we know is to teach it privately. So let's create this program so we can do it. Well, we haven't had the resources, people-wise, to be able to do it for years, but now we do. And now is the perfect time for us to do it. So we're going to be rolling out these premier memberships for those of you who want to learn privately. This is the way to do it. Promise you, it is. And the reason why is because I see the results here on my own private mat here. I see how quickly and how well they progress through. We've been starting to test people for blue belt, actual test. And the best student to ever run through the test is a student of mine in North Carolina, of all places, right? He's not local to me, but he's only learned privately through me. Probably about a good 60 hours worth of time, which made him, got to the point where he could test for the blue belt. And he passed spectacularly. Oh, in a group class, we have done tests for a couple of other people who've gone through our group class process, and they know it, because why? They're learning here at the academy. But their knowledge, being that they didn't take any private lessons, but they took a lot of semi-private lessons, was still pretty good. And that is my goal for everybody, to have everybody know the curriculum inside and out to a very high degree. And the quickest, easiest way to do it is to do it through one-on-one private sessions through our premier membership program. So if this is something that you think you're a candidate for, if this is something you think somebody would be a candidate for, then by all means, let me know. Let's get you set up. Programs start as low as $299 a month, which is $100 more than our group class membership. And it includes your once a week 30-minute session, as well as all the fundamentals classes that you can attend. Fundamentals Plus, which is our more intense classes. At that point, we need to keep you out of it, only because we'd like you to be, we'd like to make sure you're ready for it, physically as well as a curriculum-wise. But at some point in time, if you'd like to upgrade your membership to include that, that's not a problem. But in fact, let me just kind of tell you what it is. It's $49 more. So your membership, your one-on-one membership, gets you access to your weekly session plus the fundamentals group classes. If you'd like access to the rest of the class sessions, $49 a month more. Now, the important thing is that since we're just getting this program off the ground and rolling, it makes sense to offer you guys an incentive. So the incentive will be, until we get the slots filled up to where we think we have to stop and breathe a little bit to make sure we can run this program as efficiently as I hope, we'll give you $40 off. So instead of $299, it would be $259, and that'll include your once a week privates, your 30-minute session, and as well as access to our fundamentals group classes, which currently here in the Flower Mound campus is twice a week, Monday and Wednesday evening at 6:30. So let me know if this type of program interests you. I really do feel that that it is the best way to do it. Anyway, I want to thank you for staying with me all this time so I can go over this new program with you. And this will be available at all of our campuses. So in Irvine, California, it'll be available at our Austin, Texas campus, as well as our Flower Mound Texas campus. So be sure to contact me with details on how to get you signed up if this is something you want to do, or if you have a family member or a friend that always wanted to take jiu-jitsu, always knew the benefits of jiu-jitsu, but just for whatever reason could not do it. It could be time. You just don't have the time to do it, to attend the classes, or just really doesn't want to grapple with a bunch of people, which happens. So let me know, get in contact with me, and I'd be happy to get you started on this. Take care. Happy training. Bye now.